any event has that one important insight being offered via well-versed personality as a keynote persona. So guys, let's get ready for a captivating keynote by Ms. Rucha Nanavati, the Chief Information Officer of Mahindra Group, and she'll take us on a journey through the realm of deep tech adoption in private sector enterprises. And before I could even ask for it, everybody has already started clapping for you. A very warm welcome on the dais, ma'am.
I'm not very good at standing in one place, so you'll excuse me for walking around a little bit. Very happy to be here, with all the dignitaries, with all of you. I think great start already. I will sort of carry on onto this same note, but who coined the deep tech term? We are here talking about deep tech. In 2014, Propel X founder Swati Chaturvedi coined the term. So when we start talking about deep tech, not that we have not worked on deep tech, but the concept of it is also fairly new. Less than 10 years, right? Now, we'll go to the, I have it, sorry about that. I will not talk about this a lot. I think we already heard about it. But I think there's a last sentence, not a lot of you can see here, but it says, what's deep tech today is not necessarily deep tech tomorrow. Our success will be counted when what is considered deep tech today will become an everyday thing tomorrow. Some of the people here, I may be dating myself now, but telecom people may remember Iridium phone. Anybody remembers Iridium? Yeah? The tagline was, your office is wherever you are. And it was a picture of desert, right? And a phone. Now that was a technology where the problem orientation wasn't great. We have solved the problem phenomenally, right? We go to any country, our phones work. You just need to make sure you port over to the service provider which is there. For that, we had a technology which was way ahead of its time, and we were trying to put satellites all over the world in a very expensive way. That was the deep tech then. It's an everyday thing now. So how much of initial development, how much of edgy tech work we put in to make it ready for common person every day is going to define our success in our work in deep tech. Where am I pointing to? Thank you. A little bit of comparison where we are, since we are talking about India's adoption on deep tech. The deep tech startups, I think fundamentally you talk really well, Mr. Patel, that deep tech generally comes from startups because it's a lot of research and development, because it is new concept, because it is not quite well established. They are growing at CAGR of 50% globally. India is not far behind, 40%. Pretty good. Just a little bit more, I think if our GDP keeps growing at the rate we are talking about, we won't be far behind. About 70% of deep tech ventures own patents. I think we're a little behind. Especially, I worry about the patents in India. We should not be falling behind where our technological advancements are copied by somebody else. Because if you are the first to market, if you are the one who perfects the technology, likelihood is it's going to become a household thing. And you'll lose that advantage if you haven't claimed your rights on the IP. Very, very heartening thing to see today in deep tech is 97% of deep tech ventures contribute to meeting at least one of UN's sustainable development goal. This is fantastic. Thank you for the enthusiasm. This is fantastic. What are UN? If you're not familiar with the sustainable development goals, fight hunger. Right? This is a goal. Equal opportunity is a goal. Environmental sustainability is a goal. Yes, so these are the goals, which means we are using and researching technology for good. I think we were just talking about it in the morning. For good, right? For the right things. And most of Indian startups are also emerging to address sustainable development. Almost same number, 95 to 97% are doing the research for good. That is very, very heartening. I think as a global community as a whole, that is very heartening. About 83% of ventures are designing and building a physical product. This is what talks about the problem orientation. Not just about building something. I mean, I'm an engineer. I'm very passionate about technology. So we do get carried away sometimes about shiny technology rather than the implication of it and impact of it. But we are keeping ourselves grounded is very important. 3x increase, this is very interesting. Adoption by B2C startups. This is what is going to put everything in consumers' hands. This is what will make it a household thing. So very exciting numbers, I think, for India. I do agree on the challenges, and I'll talk a little bit about how we should, as a community that comes together of technologists, and the ecosystem should fight that. This is the picture of our deep tech startups. Phenomenal, phenomenal. In last 10 years, we've grown about 53%. 53% rise in deep tech startups in India. 4,000 plus people are employed. Estimate is it'll be doubled by 2026. 4,000 up till now. In next 2.5 years, we will be double. That shows the interest in our ecosystem. Opportunities are across the sectors. I think it was a fantastic example of S&P. I'm so impressed by the work that goes on, and I have more faith in the numbers and the statements that come out of it now. But from climate action and clean energy, I think climate action, quantum computing, it'll change the game if we can get that right. Right? It'll save lives that we lose because of natural disasters. It will also make your password thoroughly redundant. So we got to get ready for that as well, if it starts cracking it. But your multi-factor authentication will go for a toss. So we will have to be ready for it. The large enterprises are also courting startups, which is making the ecosystem very strong in India. I think he talked about it. I'll talk about a little bit about what we are doing. But that's making it very strong. And the use cases are increasing globally. Today, you won't go to any company, any board. I'm talking about large enterprises, right? How will enterprises adopt this? You won't go to any board that will not ask you about Gen AI. There is excitement, there is concern. You see the disproportionate number of startups on AI? Absolutely disproportionate. Because it touches everything. And a lot of these things, right, you'll not find a deep tech companies who are very anchored on one particular industry. Simply because they are game changers. They are massive disruptors through technology. So you are not necessarily anchored on it, which is why sometimes we have to, these startups will come at a juncture where they have to pick a technological advancement, or they have to pick a robust use case that I can go after. This is where I'm hoping that the venture capitalists and the investment firms will come and help, right, to look at the bigger picture and continue the support. Relevance for enterprises, and this is very important. This is what will make the adoption a little better. Innovation and competitive advantage today. Any company, and I'm from Mahindra, we are in 20 plus industries from, I'm hoping there are a lot of customers here. We make SUVs, we make tractors, we have resorts, we do financing, we also have solar panel project companies and everything in between, right? The differentiation, even in the most conventional of industries today, comes from technology. A quick example, and this is one of my favorite examples, is we sold, I think, about 50,000 XUV 700, which is a fairly new product. In 3 hours. Now, if you think about somebody's buying a car type process, you go to the dealership, you test drive, you like it, so on. Today, you know most of the things you want to know before you go enter the dealership, right? This is a deep tech of yesteryear has become household thing now. And you probably bought it. I don't think 50,000 people would have test-driven vehicles in 3 hours before buying it. You bought it online. Now take it a notch up. We sold 1 lakh Scorpio N, which was the last launch, in 30 minutes. In 30 minutes. Now this is how we change the consumer behavior. The expectations keep growing and the competitive advantage of all companies, very brick and mortar type, conventional, you make a car manufacturing company. But this is how the game changes. The differentiation comes from technology. So you have to be in this game. We can't be a laggard adopters. Customer experience, I think the same example I could take about customer experience. Sustainability and corporate social responsibility. I think Mahindra has had this 76 years ago. If you look at our memo of how the company started 77 years ago, it didn't talk about we were going to make tractors. It didn't talk about we were going to make cars or anything. It simply talked about better dignity of labor for people and making India's industrialization a success. It basically talked about community rise. So the companies, today I think it's a mandate from government. I think that's one of the best things government has done, that 2% of your profit you got to do CSR for. Sustainability and corporate social responsibility, the technology is aiding it so much, and happily I'm repeating it, that it goes towards UN's goals of sustainable development. I think efficiency and cost savings, technology has always provided, deep tech provides it even more. Talent attraction and retention. Today, you talked about it. If you want to retain technical talent in your company, boy, you got to make it exciting for them. It is very difficult otherwise. Right? And companies like us, whether it's S&P or us, we fight with Google, Facebook. They're all here. Right? So this is what makes it exciting, and this is what will help you retain them. A little bit about what we do, our foray into deep tech. Mahindra 400 Verse, that's our first electric vehicle that we've launched, was launched in Metaverse. Huge response. I think in one day, more than 3-4 lakh people had already seen it, and we started getting inquiries on when is the booking starting and all that. Super. This is Mahindra Eden. This is India's first net zero energy home. It is built using a lot of technology that makes it carbon neutral. It's a pretty difficult thing to do, but this is about deep tech coming to our aid for sustainable environment. Thar NFTs, huge, non-fungible tokens. It may be in this excitement phase right now, but it is becoming, it's a collectible. This is an investment. What we used to buy, I don't know, Vincent van Gogh's painting or Ravi Rai Marma's painting, we buy NFTs now. And then we are actually, Tech Mahindra is one of the only 25 globally certified service providers. India's one of 2. So moving from technology services to in consumer hands is where we use this across the board. We use this internally as well. So we have Anand Mahindra, I think very well known, our chairman. Digital Human is an embodiment of advanced AI capabilities. It's an immersive employee engagement experience. We talk with Anand like this, if, when he's not available all the time. He's just one and we are many. So, and again, echoing Mr. Patel's sentiment as well, we collaborate with startup. This is our annual event actually. And I have to say, we get amazing response from Gujarat. Amazing response. Just incredible, I think, startup ecosystem in Gujarat. We do this so that we can continuously collaborate with tech startups. continuously. And more over the years, we have seen that the interests from every business, all of our businesses, is in deep tech. That's how you stay relevant. That's how you differentiate your business, by doing what others haven't done before yet. Way forward, I think I'll quickly conclude here in interest of time. So, problem orientation I already talked about. I think we want to make sure we enable our companies through problem orientation and latitude to do horizontal work. I think generative AI is a great example. Very open, very horizontal. I can't think of any industry where it will not make an impact. If anybody remembers Sam Altman's visit last time, right? There was a bit of an altercation. What can India startups do if we have $10 million versus you have 10 billion, so on and so forth. In that whole message, what got lost was, he said, there is a lot that has not been done yet. Why focus on what has already been done? Let's do what has not been done yet. There is a lot of work that can go on specific language modeling, whether it is large or small, it depends on our use case. But there is a lot that has not been done. So that's where I hope our venture capitalists fund the deep tech startups. And as industrialists, we help find the right problem orientation. Infrastructure for research and guidance, I think government has done a lot on this, Niti Aayog and so on. There are a lot of, I think NASSCOM is so deeply involved and helping. Education has to change a little bit more. I see a lot of industries and universities, educational institutes have this as a course. There's no shame in copying. I always say that, why can't we bring other university experts and help set up these classes and educational courses and universities. I think that's where Europe and US has had a little bit of edge. Our generation, our next generation, they still go out, study, and come back. We should make this, time to go away from being a service hub for technology. We should be product hub. We should be the deep tech hub. We have it. I think we are on the financial path as a country that will make it possible. Push for more patents, I already talked about it passionately. I think we should not let our IP go out without us making money. Building in-house talent, this is the tough one. Again, comes with infrastructure, but continue to do that rather than buying from outside. Hopefully we get there. Large enterprises collaboration already came in my speech ahead of time. Balance of design to value and design to cost. This is again, how fast you can provide impact, how much horizontal research you have to do. And again, this is a direct correlation with funding. Direct correlation with funding. We got to fund these, I think 14 odd unicorn deep tech are on the cusp, is what I heard in the NASSCOM report last. That's pretty good. 14 unicorns, that's pretty good. Which means there is a lot of talent that can still come up and we can make that 14 40. Defensible IP. We have to defend our IP. I talked about it already. And sharing success stories. I hope such events keep happening more and more, where we have support from government, where we support from industries, where we have support for all the tech startups who are coming up, and support from all the enterprises like Mahindra, like S&P, and so on. I think there's only upward and onward from here. Thank you so much.